So apparently MamaMax has returned to the internet, but not in the way we all expected. Since the last we heard of this guy, he was working on a documentary despite the commentary community, which was going to be called Silencing All Survivors, or something along those lines, which would have been a pretty dumb move in my opinion. So what's Max been up to for the last 6 months? As last we heard from him was back in January. Well, according to him, he had been working in a local employment since his followers on Patreon and his fanbase had turned on him, following the videos made on him by Mutaha and, you know, the
John Wick of commentary, Nicholas Diorio.
Well, according to this Reddit post, Max has moved on from grifting his audience to volunteering as a CASA advocate working with at-risk children. Before we get to that though, the person who posted this to Reddit had spoken about the Mega Drive, which is where Max would post his evidence against those he exposed on his YouTube channel. These are Max's words, not mine, so take this with a pinch of salt. But in the Mega folder, Max had spoken about supplying the viewers with the evidence he obtained, since YouTube's policies had prohibited exposing personal information. This could be what sparked the reporting of the drive, an eventual seizing of material and termination of the account, which I think the uncensored versions of his videos could have been posted there as well, as they would fall under violent extremism and could fall under child exploitation material, as Max had often spoken about such things in his videos. However, without knowing for sure, all we can do is speculate on what else had been in those folders. But there are those who believe Max had been storing CP in the Mega Drive, which we don't know as of yet what the contents were. And as I've said, we can only speculate about those things. And now Max has been seen working with at-risk children as a volunteer and teaching them about filmmaking. So how do I feel about this? Well, I am conflicted, to be honest, as this could be a step in the right direction for him, perhaps as a way to move on from his past misdeeds, especially given the fact Max was a passionate creator who had an eye for the camera and in cinematography, so he could have a lot to offer in teaching kids on how to get into making their own films. But I can't help but think about his history, the violent extremism, and the disturbing messages he put out for his audience, some of which had been CSA survivors themselves, and especially what he did to Magnetar, where he said he thought it would be poetic to label him as a predator. Not because he was one, but simply because it was poetic. And it makes it all the more damning when you factor in the history he has with him. See, that is a very messed up thing to do and highlights that Max may not be fit enough for this position and should seek therapy before even attempting to work with or around children, as it sounds negligent to not address your own mental health issues and not working to improve them, so the mistakes of his past could resurface in the future. He could also be doing this as to prove something not just to others but to himself, or maybe in the aftermath of the exposure he went into complete denial mode. Who knows? But I don't know Max personally, and all I could do is provide my thoughts on this subject, and maybe he has addressed these things and is trying to move on, but I think Max should come back to YouTube and make a proper apology, not just to his audience, but to everyone he had hurt along the way, as it's very overdue at this point. Although if Max hasn't properly addressed these things with a professional, then I think he could be a bad influence on them. The other concern I have would be the safety of the people he works with or is being supervised by, as Max hasn't exactly been a stranger to spreading false allegations as rumors, such as what he did to Night Docs in an effort to destroy his business relationships with other YouTubers, and he managed to fool his friends. In conclusion, I think it could be a good venture for him, but I am troubled by some of those aspects from his history, which if they haven't been properly addressed, it could be detrimental in what he is trying to achieve, either harming others or himself even more than he has already done. Special thank you to the members of the channel: Hammond, Sithlord 906, Killer 1260v2, Stabber OB Sig, Bronze 189, Ero Solano, Art Gains, Eric Harrison, Huckcast, and to the legend members, Afron2371 and Michael Boss. Thank you for giving that extra support to the channel, and if you want to become a member and gain exclusive benefits like early access to new videos as soon as possible, then hit the join button and click on the tier that's right for you. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all back here very soon for some more history deep dives, lore, and much more in the future. Let me know what you think about the topics discussed in the comments, and I look forward to hearing from you. And be sure to join the British Alliance today by subscribing to the channel, and make sure to have all notifications on so you never miss a video. And I will see you all very soon. And be sure to leave this video having a good one.